This video is all about a fast alternator replacement on a 2006 Toyota Corolla. Alrighty, so as you can see, here's our old alternator. Looking at the alternator, well, especially if we look at the new replacement, it has two bolts that will hold it onto the motor and a couple of clips. So as you can see, there's electrical clips we need to disconnect here, here, and then farther down there. First, you need to take off the negative battery cable. It's a 13mm socket for me. Alright, so as you can see, we've got two of the electronic connections off. This one requires removing an 8mm nut. This one is a clip you can use to take off with pretty easily with pliers. This one I haven't been able to get yet, so I'm going to try and just take off the alternator and then go that way. You can see a lot of the plastic sheathing cracked off the wire, so I'm going to have to wrap those with electrical tape. Alright everybody, so down in there, there's the bolt, which is the lighter color, and then above the bolt is a 19mm hex shape that you use to temporarily detension the belt to remove it from the alternator. So I'm going to slip the socket over that. Then I can get a breaker bar, put it over the socket, and now as I turn clockwise, you'll see that the belt will loosen on the alternator. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that, and then slip the belt off the alternator, just like that. Thanks. The task at hand now is to remove that top bolt, and also there's a bottom bolt down there that you can see, like it's just between the lines, and below where you can see the belt, and that's what we're going to have to take off next. Alrighty, so as you can see, the alternator is now nowhere near its original position. I got the bolts out. The top one was a 12mm, the bottom one was a 14mm. The bottom one was really, really tight, so just be really careful as you're taking that off and not strip the bolt. I might need to go get a new one, honestly. Should be able to get that clip off a lot easier now. Alrighty, as you can now see, the alternator is now out. It was pretty difficult, actually, to wiggle it out of the place, especially with these wires here, so you just got to be really careful of the wires. It might even be easier to disconnect that plug that's down there on the AC compressor that's connected to all these. That might be easier to do that. But anyways, now that we've done that, I'm going to wrap these wires with electrical tape so that they're not exposed, and then put in the new alternator. Alright, when putting in the new alternator, I found it easiest to take off that clip down at the bottom, so I could put the whole wiring harness up here at the top. And then as you can see, I've lined up the top of the alternator, and I'm screwing in that top bolt first, and that helps me line up the bottom so that the bottom one will go in easier.